The nightmare in Nashville. Let's break it all down, Tiger fans. What's going on, everybody? I'm Teddy Brennan here on Louisiana Boot Crew Media. Always sponsored as always by Revel Asphalt Services for your roads, parking lots, commercial properties. The best in the business. Give my buddy, my good friend Miller, to call 225-773-3990. You're not going to find any better asphalt company in the area. So definitely give them a call. They're going to take really good care of you. Tell them I sent you. And so, I know Tiger fans are on fire right now. We wish it was for victory purposes, but right now it just seems like things are not great in the program. The Tigers, they got dominated today. Don't let the score fool you. Vanderbilt really took it to us. More physical at the point of attack. Just incredible offensive concepts. Just modern day triple option. Just it was so much fun to watch. Much respect to Diego Pavia. I mean, he's quite a quarterback, and so he's one of those guys where obviously, oh man, shit. Like if he was on LSU, everybody would love him, but he's not. He's on Vanderbilt and can't stand the guy. But I mean, when you just take a step back, I mean, holy crap, he really had a day today. We're just going to kind of go through the game a little bit. Then we'll get into some thoughts about, where we are as a program moving forward. And, still 5-2, going to drop pretty good in the polls, probably around to 20 or so. And then a big game tomorrow, next Saturday night against Texas A&M, ABC, big time 6:00 kickoff. So, I mean, you really, if you're LSU, you got to really put this behind you very quickly because there's a very talented Texas A&M team coming to Death Valley. Kind of got going pretty good. So, I mean, Kyle Parker, Nuss was just hassled all game, taking big shot after big shot. But a great third down pass to Kyle Parker. He had a nice day. Barian Brown was targeted early, had a big third down conversion. Really the story for the Tigers were, the two bright spots are the Louisiana 5 stars, Harlem Berry at running back, Trades Green at tight end, wide receiver, whatever you want to call him. Just an absolute freak of nature. Can't say enough about him. Really, really disappointing when a guy like that has a performance the way he had today and it gets wasted essentially, just because of the final score. People remember wins. They don't remember losses. That's for damn sure. Nice pass protection. In the beginning, Cohen Eccles got the start. Didn't see Paul Mabenga. So, Cohen Eccles got the start. But, the Tigers' offensive line seemed overwhelmed pretty much all day, particularly in pass protection. Started out okay. 3-0. Ramos hit a 48-yarder. Defense came out looking pretty decent in the sense Guillory really got physical inside. It was nice to see him making a good push, especially with Bernard Gooden out. But, you could tell you missed number 88. Bernard Gooden has been your best defensive tackle all year. And so, when you lose a guy like that, it's hard to replace. You can throw bodies out there and they're talented, but there's a reason 88 is, starting and is going to be playing in the NFL next year. But Pavia got going. He got a really big long run, overturned, eventually sneaked it in 7-3. Nice, a little exotic for the Tigers throwing a screen to Juwan Johnson. I mean, that's sad when you're talking about, oh, wow, what a play, getting it to number 8 out there. It's just, the offense is a mess right now. Garrett Nussmeier, he's giving it hell. You have to give it to him. I mean, he's a warrior. He loves LSU. Very emotional after the game. That's not going to look It doesn't look great, but he puts his heart and soul into it. And so it is what it is. But, he really gutted it out. He had a nice day. I mean, if you look statistically, over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. So he had a very, very nice day, but statistically, but when you look at the film, you look at what you just saw over the past 3 hours, he was running for his life, essentially. It was just ugly. And so Tyree Adams getting hurt didn't help, but, and DJ Chester had a penalty. He may have had 2, just too many untimely penalties. DJ Chester did good enough in the sense of that you didn't hear too much about him giving up big, a sack or anything like that. If he did, look, he was thrown out on an island. It's pretty impressive that he has the versatility to go from center to have been playing left guard throughout camp and, to go be thrown out at left tackle. I mean, that kind of versatility is going to help him moving forward, particularly when it comes to the NFL. So, he gave it hell. But finally get on the board in the second quarter. One of the few beautiful play designs that tight end drag delayed. Nuss sold it. And I mean, he almost got sacked but it was done perfectly. And Trades Green catches it, 24-yard touchdown. Trades Green, just an absolute star. So that's certainly a bright point that the Tigers can, hang their hats on right now, because there's not a lot to hang your hat on. But 14 is definitely one of those guys. Tigers end up getting a big 4th down stop. Wes Weeks played a hell of a game in the middle. You got to give it to him. Just all over the field. His brother, his brother was missed big time today. I mean, you just don't replace, first team All-American, a captain, a potential first round pick. That's not many teams are going to be able to do that. I think Tylen Singleton and Devon Singleton played decent. They made plays. Devon Keys in particular had a couple big stops. But the Vanderbilt gashed LSU right up the middle. And so I think all you can think is that, when you have your leader in the middle and he's gone, Bernard Gooden, that's just right up the A gap. And Vanderbilt really, really took it to LSU up the middle. And so just continuing moving forward, big 4th down touchdown. Vanderbilt just continues to move up and down the field. Long drive, 15 play plus. But the Tigers get there. Harlem Berry, Trades Green just continues to impress. I know I'll just be talking about him ad nauseum. I think everybody that's doing a podcast right now or what's on the radio are talking about number 14. It's just too bad that it got wasted today. Nuss made big-time throw after big-time throw, but it just seemed like he was getting drilled every single time. And so as a quarterback, particularly with his core injury, his ab strain, Vanderbilt had a plan, and it was to really hit Nussmeier, and they accomplished their goal. Especially it's just not physical, the toll that takes. It starts to become mental as well. And Nussmeier was talking about it earlier this week that, the injury didn't necessarily mess with him as much physically as mentally. And so that you just kind of start to get happy feet, you're not trusting your blocks, and the blocks weren't there, but you're even a half second quicker because you just know you're going to get hit. And it just changes your whole psychology as a quarterback. And Nuss played as good of a game as he possibly could, in my opinion. But I mean, just settling for too many field goals. Ramos was 3 for 4 on the day. We get to 14-13, but then Vandy gets a quick 3 before half. And so it's just little things like that, particularly just stealing 3 there at the end of the first half. It's and then Vanderbilt's getting it, to start in the second half, and you just little plays like that, 3 points here, 3 points there, makes all the difference in a game like this because it was a pretty evenly matched game, in the sense that LSU made big plays. Vanderbilt made big plays, but Vanderbilt made the simple plays. Vanderbilt made the dare I say, the championship type winning plays. When you had to have it, they got it done. And, you just have to tip your cap to them. We move into the third quarter. Just more of that beautiful triple option out of the shotgun. Really fun to watch. Not really fun to watch when you're fucking against LSU. But, certainly the Vanderbilt takes advantage. Just a lot of eye candy. Just made it look easy. 24-13. Great design on the offense. Pavia really improvised. Reminds you so much of Johnny Manziel in the sense playing style, but then also personality. He's become kind of a cult figure, you would say, in college football. He's fun to watch. No kidding. The Tigers, they get going a little bit. Trades Green, beautiful out route. You saw a little bit of Aaron Anderson, not much, but he had a big reception. Nuss looks healthy in the sense that he wasn't struggling pushing it downfield like he was in the previous 6 games, but he got drilled again on that throw. Every beautiful throw he had today, he was getting drilled. And so, just absolutely in one of the greatest plays I've seen in offensive history for LSU. Just Nuss in trouble again, but getting it out to Xavier Thomas, I believe, on third down. And Xavier Thomas takes it the distance, breaks about 3 or 4 tackles. That was just absolutely incredible. And it just kind of made you feel at that point, all right, so 24-19, get the 2-point conversion. Beautiful slant to Trades Green. That's an easy decision, getting it to him in the red zone, especially on the 2-yard line. 24-21. If you're the Tigers, you're feeling really good. Then you get a 3rd and out. You get a big 3rd down stop. AJ Halsey with a huge tackle. But Pavia, he just he continued to make plays. And so, at that point, it was 27-15 in the minutes, time of possession. Vanderbilt just controlled the clock. My apologies. That was not a turnover on downs. Halsey did get a big stop, but Vanderbilt continued to drive, and they go and score and make the play 31-21. Just absolutely, devastating, really devastating. Huge Caden Durham run, 51 yards. It was a beautiful block by Braylon Moore. Josh Thompson cleared the way as well. I thought they played really nice in terms of running the football today. LSU committed to it a little bit more. They had some success. Harlan Berry was absolutely the star of the day. But Caden Durham, pops that, and then it just absolutely unravels at this point. Donovan Green gets a false start. Xavier Thomas had a beautiful little out route. Nuss, he was wide open. Donovan Green doesn't play a lot. 3rd string tight end gets called for the false start. Absolutely a huge missed opportunity. Ramos has to kick a field goal again. 23 yards. It's 31-20. Guys, everybody's just so frustrated at this point because you knew that time was running out. Devon Keys makes a big 3rd down tackle. They get a big stop. Vandy punts it. First punt of the day, which is just absolutely unreal to me. Blake Baker has been just tremendous all year, arguably the Broyles front runner, but he was outcoached today, and the entire LSU coaching staff was outcoached. It was very difficult to watch. So we have the Tigers have the opportunity to go down and tie this, bring this to overtime. But Weston Davis gets a holding penalty on a Nuss scramble. just too many untimely penalties. And then we have to punt. And so that was a difficult decision with 3 minutes to go. Only 2 timeouts. You got the 2-minute warning. Brian Kelly decides to punt. And I think that's a little bit of a soft decision, but that's just being a Monday morning quarterback. You think you have three timeouts to get 3 stops. But I think with your 5th-year senior quarterback, you got to have faith that he's going to get it with these receivers. Why aren't you just throwing it to Trades Green? So Vandy gets a big drop. But awful offensive sequence. Awful offensive sequence. I just haven't seen anything like it. Sloan just so predictable. He's just been downright bad. I don't know what else to say. Denbrock has been the guy, those first couple years. But Vandy gets a huge run, another gash up the middle, really miss Weeks. And, Pavia, just all the credit, 31-24. He's one of the most exciting, just the way he improvises is incredible. I hadn't really watched him a lot the past couple years, but, obviously playing LSU today, he's something special. And so I don't know what he's going to be graded out for the NFL, but I just feel like in the NFL, his game translates, just with the offense and the wide open schemes and the shotgun base. It's just, he's going to make a good amount of money. I don't know, first round, second round, but he's got an arm. He's got just absolutely an unbelievable ability to make something out of nothing. And those are the quarterbacks that you need. I mean, you think about Mahomes and you think about Brett Favre and just guys like that, just making something out of nothing. And Pavia is going to make an NFL franchise very happy, unless he comes back for his 7th year, which it seemed like he was trying to get. So with the NIL era, who knows? He did the Heisman pose. Right now, it seems wide open. I don't know who you would say is the best player in college football, but we may have watched him in Nashville today. So just looking at some of the stats, I mean, Vanderbilt really, really just dominated in terms of, first downs. The rushing yards are just crazy. I mean, Pavia had 86 rushing yards, and as a quarterback in the Southeastern Conference, that is very hard to do. It just goes to show that the Tigers were limited with the bodies they had, but that's still no excuse. You still have to go out there and make the plays. They didn't wrap up. They weren't disciplined. They have been basically all year, but, today was not the case. And so, 240 yards on the ground for Vanderbilt. That's just going to win you a lot of football games. You just can't do that if you're the Tigers. And so here we are. I mean, but time of possession was everything. 36-23 or 24. That'll do it. That'll do it. That tells you all you need to know about what happened today in Nashville. So just, an overview of what's going on. And so if you're looking at social media, if you're looking at Tiger droppings, a lot of people are talking about Brian Kelly right now, and I think it's deserved. I think it's deserved with the amount of money that he's made and he's making, and the resources that he has. He has the top-notch, everything you could ask for: facility, stadium, collective revenue share, NIL, boosters. He's got everything you could want. He's got one of per capita. Louisiana produces the most NFL players. Just absolutely loaded with talent every single year. Not even your big time guys, but you find a Justin Jefferson. He was a 2-star, and he's arguably the best receiver in the NFL. Has made over $100 million. And so LSU is going to have talent always. They really committed to the transfer portal this year, really up their NIL. And I think they have the third most expensive roster. Well, that third most expensive roster right now is 5-2, 2-2 in the SEC, and probably going to be ranked about 20 next week. And so that's just not good enough. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I think Joe Sloan, I think he needs to be on the hot seat. He just hasn't cut it. He's a very good quarterback coach. He could be a good offensive coordinator at a La Tech where he came from, but I think LSU, I think the Brights may be a little too light for Joe Sloan right now. Brian Kelly, he's taken the play sheet before. He may take it again. Honestly, at this point, he probably may want to because his ass is on the line, so he might as well call the plays. So everybody's got to get on the same page. I think next week comes very fast. LSU looked very deflated coming out of that game today. It was almost like a season-ending kind of loss. It was a weird feeling. Nuss was basically crying. Trades Green looked pretty deflated, and so I don't know where you go from here. You got to lean on your leaders. Obviously, the coaching is a little bit of a mess right now, but if the Tigers, continue, if they win out, which is a very thin margin of error at this point, you got to go 10-2. You could make the playoff at that point, but the way the Tigers are playing, or just not playing, essentially, just they're soft. They just look unorganized. Players are always looking at each other. They don't know what the play is. And they just look outcoached, outmanned, overwhelmed at times. And you just can't do that. I mean, you have some great players on this team. Mansour Delane has been playing unbelievable. Obviously you got to give it to a guy like Trades Green. Harlan Berry absolutely needs to see the football field more. He's electric. He finds the hole. His vision is really incredible for his age. And then he had an absolute blow up of a block. It's on social media. I mean, he took out not just a linebacker or a DB, but I think he took out a defensive tackle. I mean, so he got absolutely physical. So that's fun to see because, as a young back, pass protection, that's really what you're probably your Achilles heel in terms of getting you on the field, because besides that, running back or maybe corner is probably the easiest position to get on the field as a freshman. He needs to see the field more. And so all week, moving forward, all week, we're just going to be hearing about Brian Kelly, what more he's going to have to say in his Monday press conference. I know he's given out a few quotes here in his press conference today. It's just going to be the same coach speak. I mean, what else can you really say at this point? I mean, the results speak for themselves. 5-2, probably, ranked in the top 20. A lot of programs would like that, but at LSU, especially these days with the money and the resources that are invested and the tradition of the past, particularly 25 years, the standard has been set, and this isn't pretty. This isn't pretty. And so, we're going to see how the Tigers respond. Huge game. We're going to see a lot about where the culture is with Brian Kelly. I think from the outside, we think that it's broken, that it's soft. They're going to have an opportunity to come back next Saturday to prove us wrong. And so if they come back and get a big victory against Texas A&M in front of a national audience, all of a sudden you're 6-2. You got Alabama in 2 weeks. Things start looking up again. But, that's for another day. But for now, we have to live with this absolutely disgusting taste in our mouth. So final thoughts. Just a sucky feeling, just a shitty day weather-wise in New Orleans. Weird 11 a.m. kickoff. Everybody's body clock's thrown off. It's just fucked up. And so, but the Tigers, they had some ballsy moments. It gives you a little bit of hope. But, Vanderbilt, absolute complete game, total domination. Don't let the score fool you. Vanderbilt took it to LSU today, and that's a tough one to take if you're a Tiger fan. So we're gonna have more moving forward. We're gonna get you something throughout the week. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of takes, a lot after BK's press conference on Monday. Just gonna have to live with this. Pretty tough, but keep it here to Boo Crew Media throughout the weekend. Saints tomorrow. Pelicans getting started. Just doing great work. Just a great team here at Boo Crew Media. Honored to be a part of the process. Thanks again to Revel Asphalt Services for sponsoring today. 225-773-3990. 225-773-3990. Give Miller a call. I promise you won't regret it. Best in the area, best in the business. Thanks to Miller. Couldn't do it without him. So final score 31-24. Yeah, guys, just a shitty feeling, but hopefully we'll see what happens next week and maybe get back on the winning ways and start looking possibly at sneaking into the playoff. But for now, Brian Kelly is not going to be sleeping well. So we'll keep you updated. Thanks for joining me this Saturday afternoon. Go Tigers.